My name is Marvin XFiles, aka Mr. Sexy Dad Hat On as if I go to Little League. And today I will be doing a movie review. The Super Smash Bros. Movie. It just came out. And boy, now we are. This is an adventure for all of you guys that want to see this movie. A Brooklyn plumber known as Mario travels through the Mushroom Kingdom with a princess named Peach and also her companion Toad to find his brother Luigi. And he has to save him, and he has to also save the world from this ruthless Koopa known as Bowser. And he breathes fire. You know, the mean old bad Bowser. And before I start, the animation was beautiful. I love the movements of these characters. It reminded me of Super Smash Bros. And also Mario Nintendo 64. That game, Mario had those hops. And it got that down packed. It got it well done. Movements translated well through the animation in the whole world. It was good. It was they represented the game pretty good in that aspect. But this movie draws the short straw. Now, my issue with this movie is that, man, it was a lot of the pace of this movie, it increased rapidly. Like, it didn't make no sense. It was a lot of time skips, and I'm like, hey, but what's going on? These characters have to properly develop, and this movie, it didn't do that. It did not do that. It failed at that. It's sloppy work for whoever wrote this. It was sloppy work, just some nasty work, and I felt very disappointed. And it was no heart up in this movie. I didn't feel it. I did not connect with any of the characters. I didn't. And like, I've been playing Mario since the '90s, and what I witnessed animated did not match the games. It did not match that beloved Mario character, Peach, Luigi. It didn't it didn't. This felt very hollow. It didn't have no substance to me. I'm talking about the character development. It didn't have a heart. This movie has no heart. It doesn't. It doesn't. From the jump, it doesn't. It doesn't properly build to anything. Absolutely nothing. And that is a sad thing. I mean, I'm a Mario fan, and these voice actors were, well, is a problem. It's a problem, but over time watching this movie, you get used to it. But I felt that was a bad decision, having these high profile actors voice these characters. Like, it made no sense. Why bring Seth Rogen and Chris Pratt onto this project? It made no sense. And the accent was bad, but over time, and you get comfortable and you understand, like, okay, cool. But it was a problem overall for me. It was a huge freaking problem. And the character I hated the most in this movie was Peach. Peach had this macho man, I can do bad all by myself, modern woman mentality. Like, what's the point of having this Mario movie when Peach, she can get the job done by herself? Her stats, if this is a fighting game, her stats was off the chart. I'm talking about strength, speed, intelligence, everything. It was 5 stars, everything. So I'm like, why call this movie Mario if that Mario, he didn't even have to even be up in this movie? This movie is a Peach movie in my eyes. She did not need Mario in my eyes. I was like, what the freak? And she always had a freaking ace in her freaking hole. It didn't matter what type of situation it was. Peach was not under any distress, and Mario did not have to save her up in this movie. I did not feel that at all. I didn't. I didn't. Peach was so masculine, man, and it sucks. It sucks. And then Bowser, he was scary. I mean, he had some funny moments, but man, he was a simp. He was a simp. I'm like, why do they got Bowser, a ruthless Koopa, out here pouring his heart out to a character up in this movie? It made no sense. I'm like, Bowser, scary Bowser, and the Boogeyman. Man, all known through Mushroom Kingdom, you do not mess with Bowser. This movie, it was not. I expected more from it. It failed me being a fan of Mario and collecting the amiibos, the video games. It let me down. It let me down, and I was excited to watch this movie, and they just let me down just drastically, man. Like, I'm gonna be honest. This movie, and then Donkey Kong. I don't like how Donkey Kong look, and he's voiced by Seth Rogen, but I seen some other characters, and boy, I was happy, but Donkey Kong, he wasn't. I didn't like any of these characters up in this movie. I didn't like any of them. I didn't like any of them, and they didn't do it for me. None of the. I don't have a favorite character. I do not. I didn't have a character that I enjoyed seeing on screen. It was this movie, man. I don't know why would they do this. It made no sense. This movie had no heart. It had no heart. This movie is on life support. These characters were trash. I mean, I recognize these characters from the video games, but I couldn't sympathize with any of them. I couldn't relate to anything they did up in this movie. It didn't took the time or the patience to like fully like create decent characters. At least it didn't even do that. And I know that I'm coming off harsh, but this is part of my childhood. So I gotta be honest. And like me, I hate to do this. I hate to do this. I hate to do this. This movie was not good. It was not good. It was not good at all. I do not recommend you guys to go see this movie. But I went to watch this movie at midnight, and it was pretty packed. So the Super Mario Bros. Movie will make its money. That's a fact. That theater was packed with kids, parents, all. I was like, oh my gosh. But this movie, I do not recommend it. Across the Spider Verse for the win. This movie gets C minus. I want to know you guys' thoughts in the comments section. Do you guys agree with me or not? My name is Marvin XFiles, aka Mr. Sexy Dad on as if I goes Little League. If it doesn't got that X, that stamp isn't real, isn't authentic. My name is Marvin XFiles. Two fingers.